After a terrible Russian Grand Prix that saw Valtteri Bottas take his first win in Formula 1, Lewis Hamilton bounces back and claims pole. Nico Rosberg places P2 looking out the front of the grid from Mercedes. Max Verstappen in his Red Bull debut places an impressive P3 ahead of teammate Daniel Ricciardo. Hometown favourite Fernando Alonso made out of Q1 and starts P12, just ahead of his fellow compatriot Carlos Sainz. Plenty of overtakes in Sector 3 by the GP2 and GP3 drivers. Will it be 5 different winners in 5 different races? Let's start the Spanish Grand Prix.
So what's up guys, we are back with round 5. It's been a long time, so we are not going to waste any time. We're going to get straight onto the grid and straight into the action. So P5 out of 22 cars, we've got Daniel Ricciardo to our right, Max Verstappen just ahead of us, so it's going to be an interesting start as the lights go out right about now, and you can see we got off to an alright start. Ricciardo gets a better one, but Max Verstappen is already challenging the two Mercedes, and he's not even made it into turn 1 at the moment. It's absolutely crazy. We've still got Daniel Ricciardo to our right. Verstappen's going to go slowly, so we're going to have to go in between all of them. We're going to get boxed in, and we turn in a bit too much, and we take Ricciardo with us, and we lose. He loses his front wing. I think we lost a bit of an end plate. You can see Felipe Massa, Carlos Sainz also involved in that. So that's 4 cars involved in the turn 1 incident. I've got a feeling a few cars just ahead of the road are going slow as well. Yes, it is. It seems to be a Haas of Esteban Gutierrez and the Renault of Jolyon Palmer. So that was really bad from them. So that's not good at all. So you can see Fernando Alonso still on that point, and he actually goes into the back of, I think that's Romain Grosjean. So he's lost his front wing. But nonetheless, we're going to troop it on. As you can see, we've actually got Marcus Ericsson now in the wall. I have no idea what's happened there. I think it was to do with Danny Kvyat, who's got no front wing now. So Kvyat having a nightmare in his first race back at Toro Rosso. So he's going to have to pit this lap. So he's going to have a terrible race. You can see Pascal Wehrlein challenging. I think that's Felipe Nasr. So I'm not sure what Wehrlein's doing. And he goes super slow, trying not to get caught out by Felipe Nasr. But we're going to try and trail him as best we can down the start for this straight. I know they've got a Ferrari engine, but we have the works Ferrari engine, so we should be able to smash them down the straight. You can see we get a bit cutty, a bit choppy, but we're going to do whatever we can to get on the back of Felipe Nasr. We're in his slipstream. We're going to pull to the right hand side. Job done. He is on the prime tyre, but that shouldn't make much of a difference in the straight line. So that is up to P13 after starting P5. That is a terrible start. But anyway, lap 2, you can see we're on board with Lewis Hamilton. He's going to dip it in the gravel and lose it. He almost collects the wall. As you can see now, his teammate goes up the inside of him, but Hamilton's going to come back and he's going to take that position off Nico Rosberg. He's not letting Rosberg win this race. Hamilton is intent to try and get as many points in the championship as possible, but we've got a very slow Williams here on lap 3. You can see, I think that's Valtteri Bottas. Yes, it is, because Felipe Massa's already crashed out of the Grand Prix. He's actually stuck. If you look at his dashboard, he's stuck in gear. He can't get out of the gear, so that's clearly got to be a retirement for Valtteri Bottas, who looks good in this championship so far this season. He's looking very good, but being stuck in gear for sure isn't what you want at all. But nonetheless, we're going to skip on to the next lap. You can see Max Verstappen is chasing down the two Mercedes, and Nico Rosberg, I believe that is, he's gone very wide. So Max Verstappen himself is going to smell blood, and he's going to hunt down Nico Rosberg. This part of the track doesn't really suit the Red Bull too much, as he starts to pull away a little bit. But for sure, the Mercedes is going to have a dominant straight line speed, but Max Verstappen is going to be very good in the last sector. I'm not sure if he's going to wait. He looks very close, and he's going to line him up for a pass, and they go wheel to wheel. Fantastic job there by Max Verstappen. So Max Verstappen turning heads already in his race, but we're now on to the end, or on the same lap actually, apologies. We're on the same lap where we were chasing down Rio Haryanto, but there's something going on up ahead of us. I'm not sure that is a Mercedes, and I think that is Nico Rosberg too. So Nico Rosberg clearly got out of shape on the following corner after the pass from Verstappen. So Nico Rosberg has found himself down now into P9, and we're into P10, taking Haryanto. We're not going to try and make that corner because we don't want to crash Haryanto and be off twice in a row. But that's crazy that Nico Rosberg just wasn't able to do it. So Hamilton leads the race at this point in time. Hamilton in the lead, Verstappen is in second. I believe Sebastian Vettel is in and around that position. I'm not exactly sure where, but we can actually go round the outside of Nico Rosberg. The camera jumped a little bit there. God knows what happened there, but on lap 4 now, coming to the end of lap 4, and you can see there is yet another Mercedes in the gravels. That is Hamilton, so Hamilton's in the gravel. That's absolutely crazy. We're going to skip on to lap 5 now, and you can see Vettel is trying to get past a no front wing of Nasser. He's going to actually push him along just a little bit, so he's just pushing him along. He's going to take a wide line, and he's just going to, they're going to crash. They just crashed. Okay, so Vettel's out the race. Well, let's see what happened. Okay, so we've got Sebastian Vettel coming around. He kind of stops a little bit. I'm not sure what went on there, but he's going to take an outside line, and then Felipe Nasser just pulls into his line. He just completely pulls into his line, and that is all his fault. We're back on board with the Mercedes, so the Mercedes battle's hotting up, considering that towards the back now. But nonetheless, they're going to go side by side through turn 1. Let's hope Rosberg doesn't do what he did in the actual race and squeeze out Hamilton. But no, Rosberg has the job done. Fantastic job by Hamilton. We're going to come into the pits at the end of lap 6, coming on to lap 7 now. So much has happened in the brief span of 6 laps. It's crazy. So we're going to change our front wing after the contact that happened in the first corner. We kind of dampened us a little bit. We probably would be a lot further up than we was, but nonetheless, I suppose, you know, what can we really do? But I guess the only thing to do now is look on lap 8, and you can still see the Mercedes going side by side around the corners. They are having a great old ding-dong battle, are the Mercedes pair. I think Rosberg has the corner, but Hamilton's muscled his way through. Rosberg's going to go and defend his line. He's going to pull over to the right, and I think Hamilton's going to defend it as well. He's going to go for the attack, and they both do almost a similar to move to what they did in the Spanish Grand Prix. So you can see they're side by side through here. Rosberg has the inside line. He goes to the outside as Hamilton backs off. He runs a little bit deep, does Rosberg, so that leaves Hamilton plenty of space. So Rosberg's going to go over to the left, use all the curves he can. He's going to pull over to the right. By this point, Hamilton's already there, and they're both already in the wall, and 3 wheels on Rosberg's wagon, as they say. But safety car out inevitably for that. And we skip straight to the end of the safety car period because we don't want to see me warming my tyres. But anyway, we're on lap 11 of 17, and we're closing in on Sergio Perez, who's done a masterclass to get up into P2, but we are going to take that position off him. And we actually have Romain Grosjean in 4th place as we're going to sling it down his inside, similar to some of the moves we saw in GP2 and GP3 earlier this weekend. But we now have the Manners as well, so there's a lot of teammate battles going on during this race. We've got Pascal Wehrlein looking to make a move on Rio Haryanto, I think that is. So we're going to go have a look around his outside, and there's not much traction, so Wehrlein's actually going to get a fantastic exit. And he's actually going to be side by side for the outside of the next corner, and he's actually made it round the outside. That's a phenomenal job from Pascal Wehrlein. We'll have to have a look on board at that overtake. So he's on the inside corner. He has to brake a little bit to get away from Rio Haryanto, but he did a fantastic job and to get a great traction off that corner. I think Haryanto got himself on the marbles a little bit. He squeezes Wehrlein out as well, so that was a fantastic overtake there by Pascal Wehrlein. But lap 14, we can actually see Danny Kvyat is being pursued by his former teammate Daniel Ricciardo in the Red Bull. He's going to look around the outside. He can't get past because Kvyat holds and hugs the inside line, but again Ricciardo's going to look to the outside, and he goes almost off the track to get that move done. So for sure Ricciardo's trying to get up there as quick as he can to get as good a position. So we can see now he switches to the outside. Now Kvyat, he just closes the door completely, but Ricciardo's like, no what mate, I'm going to go completely off the track to make that. But as you can see, there is another safety car that has come out. Another safety car because of the debris that was on the track. So again, another issue with debris on the track because of all the stuff that's gone on with the gravel, with end plates and whatnot. So for sure, this race has been a crazy one. The safety car doesn't usually come out that often, but when it does, it comes out. It comes out in force. So 2 times in this race, we're going to try and get a good run. We're going to take as much of the curb as possible. As now we go, we're going to try and hunt down Max Verstappen down the start finish straight. We have a Ferrari engine against Tag Heuer, Renault, whatever the hell you want to call it, but we're not making that much ground in a straight line. We have no DRS at the moment. We'll have it, I believe, on the last lap. So it's going to be a last lap effort. Excuse me. To overtake. Now on board with Romain Grosjean. He's hunting down Magnussen. This is for point position. So Magnussen's gotten past at some point or another. He's not going to have any of that though. Grosjean is going to go down the inside. They're going to go side by side. Fantastic overtake that is from the Frenchman himself. He's going to have a go around the outside. They go really slowly. I think they're trying to warm up their tyres. So he's going to close to the in line, it's Magnussen, and he's just going to have none of that. Grosjean's going to dive to the inside of the corner. That's job done for the Frenchman. Fantastic overtaking. Now, just coming off to the penultimate lap, we're coming on to the final lap. We are hopefully going to get a slipstream advantage, and now the DRS is wide open on Max Verstappen. It's 0.8 of a second, and in the real race that was not enough. He needed to be sub 5 to have a go. We're going to have a look down his inside, but it's not going to work. We just can't get past Verstappen. We've been stuck behind him for so long, and our chance is gone. That's going to be it. We couldn't. We gave it all in the first corner of the last lap. It just wasn't enough. It was absolutely crazy, but what can you do?
Max Verstappen takes his first win in Formula 1 and Red Bull's first win since Sebastian Vettel left the team. Kimi Räikkönen and Sergio Perez complete the podium. Romain Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen finished in the top 10 of the points, while the second Red Bull finished P8. Both cars in the points for Manor, while the two Mercedes collided on lap 8, retiring both cars. Sebastian Vettel collided with Felipe Nasser and 5 cars eliminated in turn 1. A crazy race here in Spain, more sure to follow next time in Monaco.
So here we are, we have the drivers table on screen right now. You can see Kimi Räikkönen in the lead by a decent amount of points after 5 races. So going into Monaco, he's got a healthy gap. Nico Rosberg doing good in second. Valtteri Bottas in a surprise third, so that's also good for him. Lewis Hamilton and Nico Hulkenberg on the same amount of points, so he's not doing too bad. Max Verstappen in his debut managed to get up from fairly lower down in the championship to bring himself into contention with the top 5 runners, so that's pretty good. Sebastian Vettel again having a bad race. He needs to pull his socks up. Sergio Perez not doing too bad for Force India, both of them in the top 12 of the championship, so that's good. Romain Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen doing a solid for Haas and for Renault. The second Williams of Felipe Massa also in the top 12, and you have Danny Kvyat after being demoted. He's still got some solid points, 4 points in one race, and that's one of the best ones for him. But looking at the constructors, we can see Ferrari have got an alright gap. If, say for example, both Ferraris failed to finish a race even, Mercedes will be right back up there. Force India again, just ahead of Williams by about 20 points. It's not too bad. But now with Verstappen in Red Bull, I reckon Red Bull will catch right up to the back of Force India and Williams. I think Mercedes and Ferrari will have to look over their shoulder a little bit just in case. I think now Verstappen's gone and they've got Kvyat. I think Toro Rosso is only going to get Carlos Sainz to bring them at any points. That's bad for them. Renault and Haas doing equals by them, so that's pretty good for them. Manor Racing 7 points, Sauber and 4, and McLaren Honda yet still to get a point this season.